Happy Sunday, everybody. I found some more free stupid music on YouTube to use, but I'm gonna turn it way down. It is Sunday, February 11th. It's about 4:36 on the East Coast, 2018. How is your Sunday? Most people sit around on Sundays. I laid around all day. Once again, I have not been awake very, very long. I know I have a weird schedule. And I'll be working again tonight. Checking out what's going on here is that I am roughing for the very next cartoon that is already up on the website. It's been there for about 8 or 9 hours, and you can go see right now at Claytoonz.com. And I'm hitting Donald Trump on his refusal to release the Democratic memo. It's funny that Trump was all about releasing the Republican memo before he even read it, which he had stated at the State of the Union as he was walking out. He was caught in hot mic saying 100% that he would release it. And the guy hadn't even read it yet. And I still don't think he's read it. I think if someone just says, hey, this proves you're innocent, that's good enough for him. He doesn't have to actually read it and know if it actually says that. So, and what I'm picking on is, well, the guy's hypocrisy and pretty much his standards for information. He's a big fan of Fox and Friends. That's pretty much where he gets his daily briefings. He doesn't even read his daily briefings because, there are words on pages. He complained that the Democratic memo was long. It's 10 pages. He had 5 days to read it. He complained about having to read 10 pages. And it was probably really hard for him to read 10 pages where it was stuff that just did not play to him. That was not supposedly vindicating him or praising him, and there weren't any photos of him, so maybe since there weren't any pictures, that she had a hard time with that. I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit more. I don't know if that's too loud. But yeah, he likes his National Enquirer. He says the National Enquirer should have won a Pulitzer Prize, and that the editor there, publisher, should be the publisher for the New York Times. So, and as you would see right there, I had misspelled Enquirer, which is why I don't work for the Cincinnati Enquirer. That's really the only reason why I don't work there. That, and they've never asked me to. But the spelling, yeah. I always double check on Breitbart too. Is it the E before the I before the E? But that's another one of his favorites to go to. And of course, as a guy, he likes to give intelligence to Russians in the Oval Office. Remember that time Reagan invited Russians inside the Oval Office and gave them intelligence? Or Bush, or Obama, or the other Bush? Even Jimmy Carter didn't do that. And not to mention all of the White House staffers who are working there without a security clearance, and we don't know how many. So far we've known about 3 or 4. We've known about Sebastian Gorka, who was an international fugitive working in the White House. I don't know if he had access to classified info. And then Jared Kushner's still there, and this guy has had to redo his application about 4 or 5 times because he keeps lying about meeting with Russians. And then he had his White House secretary, Rob Porter, the guy who smacked wife number 1 around, then he smacked wife number 2 around, then he smacked girlfriend around. Supposedly, allegedly, I better say that. He didn't have a security clearance. But here's a guy handing the confidential information, highly classified, to the president. I even hate saying the president. I know a lot of people felt that way about Obama, but for them it was because he was black. For me, I don't like saying Trump is president because he's Donald Trump and he's an idiot. This cartoon took about 15 hours from start to finish. Seriously, 15 hours. I didn't work 15 hours. I did the rough, and then I took a nap, and then I ate some shrimp, and then I watched a movie, and then I started to work on it some more, and I decided, it was several hours later, and I decided I was going to lay down, and The Hateful Eight was on, and I was going to watch The Hateful Eight, and I figured that would like kind of put me to sleep because I'd already seen it about 6 times, and it didn't. So I laid in bed for about 4 hours, and then I got up around 4 a.m. and I finished the cartoon. So yeah, 15 hours of work here, people, if you don't count all the sleeping in between and the shrimp that I had and the movie that I didn't even really want to watch. Don't ask me about this music. I don't know where it came from, other than just free, supposedly. Well, it's free right now. Fox and Friends. Who here has ever watched Fox and Friends? I have not. I don't know. Maybe I have. Maybe I've, like, the cat might have stepped on the clicker once and it went there. And then I got rid of the cat for that. So, that's an offense to be getting rid of for. I'm kidding. Nothing happens to the cat. People are always afraid that because I'm not really a cat person, but there's a cat here, that something's going to happen to the cat. I don't hurt animals. I like animals. I'm an animal person. I just wouldn't have a cat if it was up to me. But I don't mind the cat either. Which is why, since I'm not the cat person, that's why the cat's always with me. The cat's always in my little office here. He's always here. Always. And sometimes he's here and I don't even know he's here. Like in that nap yesterday, he was here for like, he was in the room with me the entire time and I didn't know it. Until I woke up and opened the door and he went running out. Oh. He has a hiding spot in here and I don't know where it is. And there's not really that much junk in here, so I don't really know. I think he's like either under the bed or in the closet. I just actually haven't looked for it. Because as long as he doesn't like do cat business in here or hack anything up, he's fine. He can come in here and hang out. Alright, once again, Trump in his eyebrows. It might be time for me to like change Trump up again. Caricature. But I don't know. Give me a little while to get into his face this time. You'll see. I also have news playing in the background, and I already have my next subject and idea for my next cartoon. I should probably make these videos when I'm awake, more awake. I mean, I just have only had like 2 sips of this Coca-Cola. Not enough caffeine yet. Gulp. Alright, I'm gonna do the whole standard thing of thanking you for coming by, asking you to subscribe, click like, leave a comment. Ariel, thank you for the squishy comment yesterday. Made me feel squishy. Quana, thank you for the comment on anything. And see, I'm not awake yet, but I remembered you commented. Hey, if you want a shout out, come in here tomorrow. Leave a comment in this video, and tomorrow I will give you a shout out. You will hear me say your name. How sexy is that? Say my name, say my name. But thank you for coming by, clicking like, subscribing, following. I didn't like what I was doing here with this whole shading next to the desk. And the funny thing, I think I did that before one of my naps. Or before the non-nap. And then I came back later and I changed it. I believe this is 9, yes, this is 9 videos today. 9 videos to make the one video. And I'm still getting used to doing the videos while I'm drawing. And it's a little bit distracting because I'm kind of like worried about hitting pause or not hitting pause, and I don't want a bunch of dead air while I'm just staring at the canvas. So it's kind of inhibiting my just staring at the canvas, wondering what I want to do next or where I want to put something. Now this thing, the garbage can, I did that like 6 cartoons ago with the same papers. I almost didn't do it. I was like, screw it. If I can't remember what I drew yesterday, nobody's going to remember that from last week. And also, as you might be able to tell, I do not write or script any of this voiceover. I just kind of push, click, and go. There's no preparedness for this. I'm flying by the edge of my seat. I'm just going to keep doing this and see if it picks up, if people start watching these things. Besides the three of you, who I do appreciate so much. Yeah, I remember when I took my non-nap. It was whenever I was done shading here. And then I lay down and watched a Hateful Eight for some reason. And then I came back. And all I really had to do was insert one headline and color the thing. And I was really debating about this headline, wondering if I was going to get in trouble for it, or even how to word it. And I'll explain why in a second. And I was thinking, man, the headline from the National Enquirer, it has to be a good one. But it can't be like no Frog Boy thing. Or Bat Boy. It's got to be something with a celebrity. And something just really, really stupid. Like all their headlines are. Now they're getting more into politics. But and they're putting up the crazy theories from like the Weekly World News into the political headlines. Here we go. Here we go. I turn the page around a little bit. I don't do this very often because I'm lazy. Now, is it? See? Yeah, I couldn't get my head around how to word this for a while, so I just decided to go with a bunch of exclamation points. And then I thought, some idiot might be going, what's Dem mean? So I changed it to Democrat. I mean, if you're reading this, watching this, you probably know what that wouldn't like throw you for a loop. But there are a few conservative readers out there, Trump supporters. So, and this is when I started working again. Was I was going to color. Okay, I want to kind of rock and roll. I didn't really want heavy metal. And it sounds really short though. They're all like 2 minutes. And they're all instrumentals. Huh, I just realized that now. That might be the perfect stuff. It's kind of like you want music that you don't really want to listen to. You want music that you don't really want to pay attention to. Yeah. How did he say it in High Fidelity? John Cusack said something like that. He just wanted something to play that he could ignore. Yeah. When he's having a bad day. So much erasing. I have a weakness. I think I keep going back to using bluish backgrounds. And then whenever I think I'm going to change my mind and use something else, and I start to use something else, and you'll see me do it one day, I go back to blue again. I probably got to stop that. But I don't know if anybody's noticed, so I probably shouldn't have said anything. So yeah, then I just mess everything up. All that hard work with the lettering. This is why I save so much while I'm working. And the funny thing is, because of the layers, whenever I color over something that I know I'm going to have to erase in between, I don't save, because if it does crash, yeah, I lose all that. But when I pull it back up, the layers have combined. So if I'm going to erase, then it just erases everything. So if I have to bring it back up, I'd rather it come back up without the color. I don't know if that made any sense to you, but this has happened to me, so it makes sense to me. I don't know if I've explained that well. I probably couldn't be a teacher. But nobody would learn nothing. Corel has a bunch of little bitty bugs that I have figured out for everything that I use it for. And whenever I have a program, I use about maybe 3% of it. Corel could probably do 10,000 amazing things, and I'm using about 3 of them. But it does have a few bugs. If you hit the eyedropper by accident, which is right next to the pen, because they're stupid, it changes the color on you. The eraser likes to freeze. It's like the entire program freezes. But you get out of it by minimizing. And then just bring it right back up. Took me a while to figure that one out. It's almost in May, it will be 2 years since I've been using it. And I think last week I figured out something else too, and right now I can't remember it, because once again, I have not been awake that long. And I wrote to Corel, because recently, when the pen is small, I have a hard time just even making a dot, or like drawing an eyeball. It doesn't really want to register where the pen is supposed to be landing. So I wrote Corel about it. And they told me to do a couple little things to my system, and I did them, and it didn't stop doing it. So then they asked me, was this any help to you? Like, want me to take a survey? I'm like, no, it was no help. You guys were useless. And I just got a message from them, them wanting me to update to their new software. Spend like another, well, I'm not going to say how much, but spend more money. And I don't think so. But maybe it'll stop doing that goofy stuff. Maybe I should do it. I don't know. I have to read reviews. But I am digging the video studio. Actually, I haven't had any problems with that. It's very easy to learn. Do you hear the news in the background? Classic Donald Trump. We are getting near the end. Thank you very much for coming by and playing and doing these videos. Please come back tomorrow. Hang out with me a little bit, okay? It's only like 13 minutes of your life. And you can always fast forward through some of those minutes. Thank you very much. And I love you all. And tomorrow I'm going to do something probably on Donald Trump again. I'm going to do something about his latest tweet. And now I can't remember what he called it. But thank you very much. Come back and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.